morals decline and good men do nothing, evil flourishes. A society unwilling to learn from the past is doomed. We must never forget our history. We must never lower our guard.
He was almost obsessive, compulsive, compounded by being a germaphobe in the way he wanted his G-men to look. They needed to have a certain amount of hair on their head. They needed to have a certain stature, be muscular, clean-shaven.
You still fancy facial hair, Agent Stokes?
I've been with the department of the Bureau for 7 years, Edgar. Almost as long as you.
No. You were with the old Bureau 7 years, and that Bureau is now gone, sir. And so are you.
He created a federal police force, and a police force that to this day is argued to be the best and the most efficient.
She goes through so much with him, and she starts off as a budding secretary and a file clerk and becomes his official office assistant and remains that throughout his career.
I'm not interested in getting married. My work comes first.
What was so delicious about her is that covering this incredible span of time and seeing the changes that the world is going through, but also how she remains just the same.
Do you remember that file we created on his wife?
Mrs. Roosevelt.
Will you make a copy for me, please? Is that legal?
The movie is really about what one man, through complete focus and singularity of mind, was able to accomplish.
I've told the whole neighborhood about you. They all know. I'm so incredibly proud of you, Edgar. Strong, opinionated woman. You will rise to be the most powerful man in the country, who influenced him a huge amount.
Mr. Lindbergh, please, if I may have a moment of your...
Thank you very much. As you can see, we have everything under control. Thank you, gentlemen.
Many of the laws, even modern laws that are about kidnapping and about interstate travel, interstate crime, came out of the Lindbergh kidnapping. I think this was the first time where J. Edgar and the FBI were capable of really making the public understand that that was necessary.
Mr. Chairman, I urge passage of the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping a federal offense, to immediately deliver all the fingerprints in this country to my office so that we may create a central file.
He was 22 years old when he started the Bureau of Investigation, which is really rather young.
I want you to be my number 2 man. You understand? I need you.
He was very good with the press. He was very good with the politicians. He had something on every president. He was very clever.
Communism is a foreign threat now, not domestic.
They had a contentious relationship. RFK was the new guard and Hoover was the old guard. In a lot of ways, Bobby thought that Hoover was out to get him and out to get the Kennedy family.
Mr. Kennedy, I heard that very same argument from a Mr. Mitchell Palmer. Do you know what it took to change his mind? A bomb. Now, I do not want that to happen to you or your brother, sir.
You can go now, Mr. Hoover.
You're gonna see inside the mind of someone who did so many indefensible, heinous things, but understand why he thought they were heroic.
I want you to start a file on Senator McKellar immediately. I want 4 agents on him at all times. I want to know what's in his trash, and I want you to photograph him at every dinner.
He fascinated me because he was just a dedicated patriot to America. And he created the FBI, which is a way of sort of bringing forensics to crime.
You are touching that with your bare hands as well.
We checked. There are none of those finger imprints that you fancy so valuable, Mr. Hoover.
There are times when you're repulsed by this man, but there are times where you kind of fall in love with him, too.
The nation's admiration is more than enough for me.
Clint asked for our input and really wanted to make this a collaboration. So he gave me everything that I needed and more.
Irresistible. I've waited 75 years for this.
It's time this generation learned the difference between villain and hero. Even great men can be corrupted.
J. Edgar, playing this month only on Warner TV, the world's best television.